throughout the country on all those centers points for insertion in the budget 2025, 2026. I would say that this budget is anchored on one guiding principle: T and T first. It is a call to strengthen our republic by building economic fairness through accountable fiscal policies. This budget is a plan to protect our people, to modernize our economy, and to restore confidence in the stewardship of public funds. This is a budget that puts Trinidad and Tobago first. It is about discipline, fairness, and delivery, ensuring that every dollar spent serves the public good and not private gain. I say again, from the outset, my government made a simple promise to protect the people and to manage the economy responsibly. That is why, effective immediately, we are reducing the price of super gasoline by $1 per liter. This is a direct measure to ease the burden on working families and small businesses. And what it means, I got a summary of how many liters of super gas sold at the pump for the year 2024. And the liters were 457,165,211 liters. You know what that means? Immediately, with this price reduction, $500 million will remain in the pockets of persons who drive cars. Almost $500 million that persons can now use to provide better for their families, to help their children, their school supplies, whatever care they need to give. You have $500 million back into your pocket. Thanks to this government, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. We are also reinstating VAT, thank you. We are also reinstating VAT exemptions on several essential items, and that list was rolled out by the Honourable Minister. Again, this will empower local farmers. Again, it will empower every citizen because it will bring down the price of food. I say we always listen and then we lead. And I've been listening for some time now, but especially in the last week, and everybody was reading out their wish list of what they wanted to see in the budget. These were two top items. Do not raise the price of gas. We did even better. We reduced the price of the super gas. And the second cry that was heard from most of the people speaking out and sharing, don't raise the price of food. Instead, we have tried to reduce the price of food. You remember Stalin's song? We can make it if we try. We can make it if we try. And we tried today to touch every sector and everyone for a better quality of life. Mr. Valley is here. Will you join us, please, Chief Secretary? Yeah, and your other secretaries can join us, please. Come, you can stand next to me. Thank you. Other secretaries join in.
Welcome very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, excellent, excellent.
Is Tobago happy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very happy. So, I said we put the price, we will zero rate several items, VAT zero rated several items. Now, the budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part. For too long, the largest financial institutions have thrived while ordinary citizens was under pressure. You shouldered more of the weight. And so we are introducing a very modest 0.25 levy on the assets of banks and insurance, ensuring that those who have benefited most from national growth, they contribute to sustaining national growth and our quality of life. To bring balance to the housing market, we are formalizing the rental sector, establishing a clear, accountable system which protects both landlords and tenants and strengthens the integrity of the property market. Let me speak to you a bit about that measure, because some people are already misleading you and spinning it and contorting, if that's the word. That landlord business surcharge is not a property tax. Let's get that very, very clear. It is not a revised version of property tax. This is where we are putting a surcharge on people who are making income, earning income from their properties. So for example, it's not on residential properties, understand? But if you take your property and you're renting it, but then you're breaking the law by not paying taxes, because that is income. It's a commercial enterprise. You're making income, and by law, you should be paying taxes. But if you're too long in the system, these persons were allowed to get away with it. You know, some of them don't even live in Trinidad, but they own 5 houses in Trinidad or in Tobago, and they're renting it out, collecting income, but paying no taxes. So everybody there must be a sharing of the burdens as well as the wealth of the country. And this is one way they will contribute to our coffers with the revenue, and at the same time, we can account. This is the accountability measure. So if you have any questions about that, I will be free to go further into it, but I make it very clear, it is not a property tax. The property tax was based on a ghost ARV, annual rateable rental value. Ghost, that was a ghost, just like the ghost in the CPEP and the URP. That was a ghost rental. Now, where the real rentals, it's a real rental because you'll actually be collecting the rent as an income. So you'll pay your share towards the nation's treasury. I want to say also, I said it before, let me repeat, I want to make it very clear, this is not on people's homes. It is not on people's homes. So don't get tied up with those who want to take us down the garden path and lose us down there on the beach. Don't get tied up with that narrative. It is not a property tax. It is a tax on persons using their buildings to earn income, okay? And that income will now be taxed. There's a very small percentage as well. Then you have people, as I said, with 5 and 6 properties, living abroad. You have people here in Port of Spain, in Tobago, everywhere, renting out their properties but not contributing to the government's coffers and not contributing to you, the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Speaker, I make it very clear, this is not a tax budget. It is an accountability budget. I said first, fairness and accountability. This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy. To widen ownership and fairness in wealth creation, we are launching a National Investment Fund 3. And don't let the other side tie you up. They did it twice already. This is a legitimate way of raising revenue. NIF 3. We will create that fund with TT $1 billion expected from it. And in addition, we will have a state-sponsored real estate investment trust, which will allow ordinary people to earn dividends and own a stake in the nation's productive assets. We are also deepening export capability through the Export Academy and Exim Bank support, empowering SMEs to innovate, earn foreign exchange, and expand into new markets. There is also transparency and efficiency, which must define government service. Through Anansi, our 24/7 digital assistant, citizens can get answers and guidance instantly. Through the digital ID that we will create, every citizen will soon access government services securely and conveniently. One identity, one login, full protection. The most transformative step, however, is the National Payment and Innovation Company of Trinidad and Tobago, which will be a single unified digital payments backbone for the state. This reform will mean faster transactions, faster refunds, full traceability, and zero leakage. No more long lines, no more missing files, no more missing paperwork. It is government accountability in action and technology working for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I turn to some areas here in the energy security and clean transition. Our energy sector continues to be the backbone of national prosperity and a key source of fiscal responsibility. Oil production is up since we came into office by almost 3,000 barrels per day. Gas output continues to strengthen with 2 fields now contributing to national supply. The 2025 water bid round is complete, bringing in new partners and confidence in the upstream sector. At the same time, we are investing in renewable energy that the minister spoke of, with green transition, the solar project down in Brecon Castle, and our green hydrogen roadmap is advancing, which will put TNT in a state where we could call ourselves Caribbean's clean energy hub here in TNT. This is the first defending of our energy advantage while we prepare for a sustainable future. Delivering for peoples and communities. Good policy means little without visible progress. As the minister outlined, in just a few short months, we have upgraded 279 schools, delivering 18,000 laptops to students, and of course, the books that we gave out, 20,000 book grants that were given out. We preserved 3,700 WASA jobs whilst improving water service. We are in advanced completion of the Couva Children's Hospital. And we will rename that hospital. We take it back to its origins. It was a children's hospital, which they abandoned and left there. Was all the equipment, some wasn't even open. They still had the plastic on it for 9+ years. While children were dying up in the Portishead Hospital in the NICU Center. You all remember that? Left it. We will rename that the Couva Children's Hospital. And we have secured funding from the UAE to help us to rehabilitate, bring that Couva Children's Hospital back into action and into life. We have completed the assessment of the works to be done on the David campus, another brilliant project for our young people and our educators that they abandoned, left vines to grow on it and bush everywhere, abandoned that David campus. We have completed the assessment, and we will, as soon as this budget is ended, we will begin the rehab works on that David UWI campus. So that is another big plus for all of us. We have built community centers. We established for crime fighting. Minister mentioned some of our programs. One of the ones I'm most proud of. When I talked about it, people were protesting. They didn't want police in schools. Yes. They didn't want police in schools. And then when we put them in 50 schools, people, why we didn't get, we want now. The naysayers, the detractors, they were out there saying, people, we don't want police. When I accepted me, which school did not want the police? Up to today, they cannot answer. Up to today. And more schools we'll bring on stream as we go forward. Of course, Minister will say more with their relevant portfolios. I want to commend the Commissioner of Police. This is the first time in 9 years that we followed the process and laid out in law with transparency and accountability to appoint a Commissioner of Police. And that Commissioner is doing us so well. I saw him in Tobago Valley. Yes. So he is really out there. Let's take what we get, the goods, take the good, with no political interference. Thank you, Khadija. So we are looking at renewal of vehicles, new E99 capabilities, and many more, which we'll share. The opposition keeps asking me they want a crime plan. Why do you want a crime plan? What you want is an anti-crime plan. Because they were hell-bent on crime. That's what happened in the last 9 years. What anti-crime plan? That's what it is. Not anti-Kamala, but anti-crime plan. That's what it is. And we have set out numerous things that we have done. The first was to create the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Homeland Security, 3 ministries to do the work that was being done by 1 ministry. That is why you had so many bottlenecks and so much failure. That's what the start, which I did immediately when we formed the government. We'll roll out more, our ministers will roll out more. We continue to manage the national deficit, maintaining it around 2.3% of GDP. This is a major achievement. Ministers, I thank you all. I think this is a major achievement. So it is down to what number now? Remind me, please. 3 point something.
Oh,
The deficit is 3 point something. Right? Yeah. You remember in the last NIS when we had deficits of 16 billion?
16, correct.
16
11,
billion,
16.
13 billion, 8 billion. What does this all mean? We didn't work magic. We just worked very, very hard. And it shows clearly that our opponents, now in opposition, deserve to be in opposition, that they just did not know how to manage the finances of the country. And that is why before we came today, they were saying that, where do you find money? Where are you getting the money? Where are you getting the money? We have found it in many ways, that some of which were disclosed here today by the minister, and is in the budget statement. Because they just didn't know how to manage, I say, how to run the country, how to run the economy, how to find the dollars and the cents, not from the poor man, but from those who may better be able to afford sharing the wealth. I say this budget was not to get the rich richer. This budget was not about getting the rich richer. This budget was about having fairness and balance for everyone. So we continue to manage the national deficit responsibly, maintaining it, as I said, to 2.3% of GDP. Spending is targeted, disciplined, and accountable. The NIS reform secures pensions until 2048, a very fair, very gradual adjustment that safeguards retirees and extends life. Now, people are saying we have increased the contributions, but let's get it very clear. I think one opponent said to Ms. John, so the 10% you gave the public servants, you're taking back 3%? Because it's a we're raising the contribution by 2% increase. So you gave the public servants 10%, let's take a bow for that. And a detractor is telling Ms. John across the floor when he heard that. So you mean you give them 10, but you're taking back 3%? Because you're increasing 3% increase will raise contributions paid by employees. Let me get it very, very clear, and I want you to get it clear. Don't get chained up. They'll carry down the garden path and leave you down there. But we will bring you back. We will always rescue you and bring you back. So let me tell you what happened, first of all. When we gave that 10% to the public, we are giving, we didn't give them yet. We are going to give them it. No longer promising. First of all, the increase in NIS, okay, takes effect, Minister remind me, takes effect, here's the NIS. There it is. All right, we propose a phased approach implementing a 3% increase in the contribution rate effective January 5, 2026, that's next year. And then another 3% from January 4th in the following year, 2027. Listen very carefully, you know, because they're already twisting, because they cannot even read or listen properly. So this thing will come into effect next year. The 10% that the public servants are getting, you know what that is for? That is not kicking in next year. That is for the years, and let me find the page here. In furtherance of the conclusion of negotiations, this is what I instructed the minister to do. For the civil service, the statutory authorities, and Tobago House Assembly for the period 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. This thing doesn't kick in. It does not kick in until next year. So all this money for the 10% happened in the past, and the contributions to the NIS will remain as they were in the past. So please understand. Please understand. So in furtherance of the conclusion of negotiations with the civil service, statutory authorities, and Tobago House Assembly for the periods 2014 to 16 and 2017 to 19, the Prime Minister has instructed the Minister of Finance to advise the CPO to submit a revised offer of 10% for the past. So they won't have to pay any increase in NIS monies on that based on the amounts that we're giving them. I think those were the two. Let me tell you something else about the NIS pensions, because people say, you have to pay a higher contribution. Let's be real. I heard the opposition leader say the budget is unrealistic, and I think the only thing unreal is the opposition leader. Because
She's lost.
She's lost. She was there for 5 years as planning minister. Did she plan anything? Did she plan anything? Nothing. The country collapsed. We have a planning minister who is helping me to plan well. And we had a minister of finance. I don't want to say what happened. The former. We had two formers now. So Minister of Finance has shown how a Minister of Finance and how a Minister of Planning, how they should work. So let's take this 3% NIS increase now. The 3% increase will raise the total contributions paid by employees and employers by approximately 23% per year. Now remember, the employer pays 2/3. Yes, anybody working here? Your employer pays 2/3 of the NIS. You only pay 1/3. So look what happens. I'll give you an example. Class 1 employees who earn a maximum salary of $1,472 per month. In the lowest contribution class, an increase of approximately $11.70, which is $2.70 per week. Per week. Class 1, in the lowest contribution class, an increase of $23.40 per month, which is $5.40 per week per employee. Class 6 employees who earn a maximum salary of $13,000 per month. In the highest class, you get an increase of $136 per month, which is $31.40 per week. So you go to class 6. In the highest class, an increase of approximately $272 per month, which is bound to $62.79 per week. So then this is for the employer. The employer will pay, and the employees will pay the 1/3. Now, we found the NIS in a state of collapse. The minister made it very clear if we did not fix this problem now, in a few years' time, there'll be no money left to pay any pensions, to pay any, injury benefits, maternity benefits, there'll be none. We have to be responsible, and we have to fix it, and fix it now, and we are fixing it. This is one measure. We have to fix it. So I talk to you, we continue to manage with the deficit. The NIS reform that I just mentioned secures pensions until 2048, when many of us would not be here, up to 2040. So you'll be protected right down until then, and if we continue with prudent fiscal responsibility, future generations will benefit from it as well. So that reform, until 2048, is secured. There will be a gradual adjustment which safeguards retirees and extends fund life. Let me make it clear about the retirees not paying taxes. These are retirees who have private pension plans. Therefore, it will not affect the public service retirees and all the others in the government sector. We just don't have the money to do that at this time. But at least these retirees with private pension plans, they will benefit no taxes. Because they've worked their whole life, not retiring, they will have their package. Some of us have it, some don't. And for those who do not have a private pension plan, I suggest you do it. Because in that way, you will save. It will help you to save. So you can invest in private pension plans. I think insurance companies and so on, yes, they give you pension plans, small amounts per month, and at the end, when you come to retirement age, you will you can benefit from that and no taxes on it. In Tobago, first and last, Tobago, we are implementing the 2025-2045 development pathway with our partners, Mr. Secretary, Chief Secretary, and your team in Tobago. Minister mentioned it is anchored, and this is from you. This is from you, anchored in tourism, agriculture, digital transformation. We want to give you direct U.S. airlift, medium, small, medium enterprises funding, modern healthcare on the way. And for Tobago, let me get my piece of paper. Minister was very happy to announce, and I repeat, that in this fiscal year, we have allocated $2.96 billion to the THA. This represents a full 5% of the national budget. But in addition, on top of that, Mr. Chief Secretary, that is not all. In addition, a further $763 million, a further $763 million will be spent by various ministries on Tobago projects. In total, the allocation to Tobago for fiscal year 2026 will be the sum of $3.724 billion, which equals to 6.3% of the national budget for the first time. For the first time, 6.3%. I read something saying Tobago wants at least 5%. Well, we're giving you 6.3%. Will you take it? Thank you very much. As I close, I say this is what accountable governance looks like. Measured spending, fair taxation, clear results. The budget places T&T first, not through rhetoric, but through results. Every initiative is designed to build economic fairness, restore trust, and strengthen the foundation for long-term growth. I said before, and I say again, promises made, promises kept. Less stress today, more opportunities for you tomorrow. We are turning accountability into prosperity, and together building a T&T that truly puts people first. I say thank you all very much, and I want to tell you something. I did my Diwali celebration on Saturday. Yes, beautiful, it was lovely. And the Pandit who was speaking at that function said, well, you know you can't please everybody. You can't please everyone. He said there were some people would be happy, some people not. He wasn't talking about the budget, he was just being in life in general. You can't please everyone. Some will be happy, some not so happy, some in between. And he was on the mic, and I was sitting there doing my prayers, and I said, but we can try. We can try. And today, I say we can make it if we try, and I do believe we will make it. I thank you all very much. Thank you very much. So I'm open for questions. Yes, sir.